Hey y'all, it's your unfriendly three-headed conjure woman, Mama Anoyela. And tonight I really want to talk to you guys about something that's very near and dear to my heart, which is people dealing with abandonment issues right now. Rule number one about people that have abandonment issues, this is something that does starts off in your childhood. Even though it starts off in your childhood, it definitely can revert over into your adulthood. Some of your early experiences in your childhood, such as neglect, trauma, or unstable attachments to people coming and leaving out of your life, maybe because of your mom or your dad dating different people all of the time, this does create a sense of abandonment issues. In the sense of rule number one about people that have abandonment issues, this is something that does starts off in your childhood. Even though it starts off in your childhood, it definitely can revert over into your adulthood. Some of your early experiences in your childhood, such as neglect, trauma, or unstable attachments to people coming and leaving out of your life, maybe because of your mom or your dad dating different people all of the time, this does create a sense of abandonment issues. And I hate to make this comparison, but it's sort of in the sense of how you have animals or how you have a dog. Your dog does not have a sense of time. And as children, a lot of us don't have a sense of time either. So when you're sitting here saying, oh, I'll be back, or you take your child somewhere else and you leave them there, they may not be okay with the energy that they may feel while there. And this forms an abandonment issue of one, them being left from their caretaker, and then also the fact that they have no judgment of time. So when you're saying, stay here, I'll be back, it starts that time clock of separation anxiety right off the rip. So for a lot of the people that like to throw around, oh, you have abandonment issues, the act of abandonment is literally leaving someone or something else that ends. That interaction ends and it stops forever. Or this person tends to give up or discontinue further interest of what they are doing and giving their time and attention to. In most cases, as a child, this may have been as simple as you wanting to introduce something new to your mom, or you learned something new, and because she said, I don't have time for you right now you're experiencing emotional abandonment. When you needed that support most, it was not given. This is also where you will start experiencing or seeing people that may still have problems with their inner child and their abandonment issues simply because their inner child never actually got an opportunity to be a child. They were thrusted into adulthood and had to abandon their own childhood. So the necessities of building, support, love, and things of that nature and nurture that would have been there, may have been repressed or replaced with something completely different. And for a kid who is experiencing these emotions, these raw, heavy, hearty emotions, sometimes it does revert to self-infliction or external infliction. This is where they start becoming very judgmental of self. Why wasn't I good enough? Why don't people like me? Why am I not accepted? It's a bunch of whys with no answers. And not only are there no answers, we are sort of not reared in a community anymore that actually helps support a lot of those emotions and feelings, because the adults that we were raised by were also taught not to have feelings to a certain extent as well. So you may be telling your children, Stay here with grandma and them. I'll be right back. But what you don't know is the energy and experiences that they've had at grandma's house not only has put them in a mind swirl of when are you coming back, but also the detachment of not only do they not want to be here, it puts them into fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Those are the four things that they instantly go into by thinking they are in survival mode because their caretaker is not there anymore. Or the people that was left in charge of them are not being attentive. They're being neglected or they're being very withdrawn. This is where the basis of a lot of abandonment issues come from. People saying, "Oh, I'll be back." And having the time span of when they'll come back versus actually talking and relating and communicating that time and distance. Now this is also where it becomes an even deeper abandonment issue, to where mentally this is where something may trigger permanent damage mentally, because you may have these children who are raised by people, raised by their moms and their dads, and now all of a sudden these major pillars in their lives are gone. They've become deceased. They've moved on. Now this creates a completely different tie of abandonment issues that technically fractures a part of their reality and can no longer be healed. It can only be treated. So, if you were one of those people that experience abandonment issues, you may not have been able to actually live out your childhood, and you were forced to abandon your childhood at a very early age to become something more than what was actually necessary at that point in time. This is why you have a lot of kids that are sort of attached to their toys, their blankets, certain people, certain places, and even imaginary friends, because it sort of helps fill that void of abandonment so that they're not running themselves crazy. And vice versa, for people that also suffer with abandonment issues, they will also use this as a deflective self-protection. They would rather dismiss themselves first before you have the chance to hurt them. This is literally a self-triggering and self-harming experience that some people are so mentally fragmented into that there is no escape. So for those that are keep telling people, "Oh, you have abandonment issues, you should go get help." Rule number one, honey, there is no cure for some of these mental illnesses. There's only treatment. And what treatment means is they're going to slap a Band-Aid on something that they know is already permanently broken, which at this point is your mental perception of reality and time. So be more kindly next time you see people with abandonment issues. We'll go deeper into this next time. Y'all know my motto. Namaste, y'all, but no, I'm going to stay the hell over here. Holla.